People of the Purple Butterfly here, otherwise known as People7 on Twitter and YouTube, People elsewhere on the internet. My soaps located PurpleButterfly-soaps.myshopify.com, and I've been asked to show how I ventilate the hair. As most know, I am making a full lace wig, and I was mapping the hairline, and this is what I have thus far. So, yeah, might be a little difficult to see in places where I haven't done a lot, but if I hold it like that, you should be able to see what all I've done. Okay. Now, this is the hair. It's synthetic. It is a dark pink at the middle, which would be the root, and light pink at the end. This is actually hair specifically made for crochet braiding. So if you're using it that way, this loop, the roots would be the dark part, and then it would graduate to a lighter color. Well, I'm using a ventilating needle, and since this is synthetic hair, I don't have to worry about folding it over 2 inches and then you know, worrying about how long the returns are going to be compared to the length of the hair that you're ventilating, because I'm not using human hair this time. The advantage of using synthetic hair, other than the fact that it will last longer and is not as expensive as human hair, is in a ventilated synthetic wig, there are no returns, because you're literally folding the hair in half and then ventilating the length of it. So basically, I stick the hook in, turn it around, grab 2 or 3 strands at a time, turn it twice, so that way when I make the knot, I don't have to worry about it coming loose, simply because of the fact that I didn't have a good grip on it. And then I just go to the next one and do the same thing. When I'm doing wispy hairs, sometimes I only turn it once and pull through. But when I'm doing a part that has to definitely be rooted, like at the temples, I turn it, then pull it. And the only thing you have to worry about is your tensioning. Okay, when I turn and go to pull it out, then I'm loosening my hand on this side, so that way when I pull it through, there's no rebellion, because rebellion, especially if you're dealing with human hair, can cause breakage. And this is a labor-intensive activity, and if you're using human hair, it's a costly labor-intensive activity. And even with synthetic hair is not cheap when you're going by how much time it's taking to do it and how much patience you need. And then depending on what brand of hair you buy, some of that's not cheap either, because some synthetic hairs cannot withstand the ventilation process and will break off every time you're trying to do it. So you have to get a strong synthetic hair, so that way it can, you know, be strong enough to go through the process, so that way you end up with a finished product that's worth, you know. And I'm not on camera. I thought I was. Hold on. So basically, you grab it, you loop it. If it gets stuck like that, just pull it out. Try again. It helps if you don't have a piece of hair stuck. So then you think that you're looping it and you're not. Okay. Yeah. That one wasn't good. I guess that's par for the course. When you're trying to show somebody how to do something, then your materials wants to get stubborn on you. There we go. Now, let me show you what I got so far. See? And you just watch me do that side. Now, when I'm done mapping the hairline, then I'm going to start from the back and then square, 1 inch square, 1 inch square, 1 inch square. My goal would be to do a 1 inch square an hour or a week, depending on my mood, literally. But basically, this is something that might take me a month. I know people that could ventilate an entire wig by hand in 10 days. I am a disabled woman. I have carpal tunnel. I have issues that causes me to sleep for many more hours than the average person, which means I am not going to be up long enough to do 8 hours of ventilating per day in order to finish it in 10 days. It doesn't matter to me how long it takes me to do it. I just do it. It's fun to me. You know what I mean? So, yeah. In the meantime, I'm going to anchor this out the way. And then continue on. The only problem with ventilating is keeping the hair out the way. But as you can tell, this is what I've done so far. That's the widow's peak and the hairline. So now, when I start, I could just literally start from here, then up, then up, then up, and all the way until I'm done. So, now I'm going to see if I can get close enough for you to see it. I don't know if I can, let's try it. Let's see if I can zoom in. I don't think so. It zooms when I have it on camera, but it doesn't seem to zoom when I'm on the video camera. But yeah, the only adjustment I see is it allows me to adjust the lighting. But I have a ring light for that, so I'm not worried. That's tangled. And since it's synthetic hair, it tangles a lot. Fortunately, since it's synthetic hair, when it does that, I just gather it up and I throw that away. I'm not going to even try to detangle it or none of that. I'm not going to hackle it or send it through a draw card. I could just throw that little bit away because it's synthetic hair and I have plenty of it. Now, if it was human hair, I'd be putting that on the drawing card and hackling it so that way I can get it back to being integrated and, you know, that way you can use it without having to, you know, detangle. Now, let's see, I'm going to get as close as I possibly can. There we go. I should have thought of that in the first place. Now, basically, you grab it loop it. Yeah. Let's try that again. See, I'm balancing it on my hip here, so that's not really working for me. But you grab a loop. Well, you put the hook through. You grab it, pull it through, turn it twice. Release the tension on this side and pull. And now you have hair that is literally rooted in, and that will not comb out. In fact, because it's synthetic hair and it's just being folded in half instead of 2 inches down like you would with human hair, this actually holds on tighter than human hair would. Because when you comb it, you're combing both ends at the same time, which literally tightens the knot every time you comb it. Hold on. Essentially, you're basically making little itty bitty teeny crochets. And I don't mean crochet like when people are using a latch hook. I'm talking about this is an actual hook. Let's see if I can get it close enough where you see it. See that? Actually, let's do it this way. See, there's a hook. It's a very teeny hook, but it's still a hook. When folks are doing latch hook, you have that part that, well, I actually have a latch hook. I'll show you what that looks like. And it go boom, you know it go boom. So your latch hook is this contraption. And see, this is the latch. That's how it got the name, latch hook. People keep calling that a crochet hook. That's not a crochet hook. A crochet hook literally is a hook without a latch. That's what I use when I'm doing crochet braid. So for I call it latch hook braiding because that's technically what it is. But a crochet hook looks like that. This just happens to be one made specifically for this particular activity, so yeah. And this is my 1 to 2 needle, which means it picks up 1 to 2 strands of hair every time. I had a 1 to 1 needle, which is great for the hairline, but I don't know where it is at the moment. And I don't think it survived the move. So basically, I'm going to have to replace it. And then wait about a month for it to get here, because, well, that's how long it takes. I messed that one up. And it looks complicated, but it's actually a very soothing activity. Although, if you have your back slumped over or your posture's poor, you'll feel it after about an hour because, you know, muscles will ache. But I'm doing it this way so you can basically see what I'm doing. You could just see the parts I just did. But yeah, that's how you do it. And then I'll come back, periodically as I progress and let you see how much I got done and so forth and so on. That's falling on my hand, so yeah, let's start that one over. But when I do the hairline, I literally map out where I'm going to start, so forth, so on. And because I have a crooked hairline. And then I basically ventilate up into the parts where I meet the strands that I just put on here. So now I'm going to start on this side, so by the time I work my way all the way back up, by the time I reach this part, I'll be finished. And that might take me a couple of weeks, it might take me a couple of months. The length of time it takes isn't important as the enjoyment I get from doing it. I mean, I have a, well, hold on, let me just show it to you. That's not the one. That's gonna fall over. Okay. This is the first one I ever made. And as you can tell, I braided it because with it being full lace, you can. And I even made the whip cap. This is a pre-made whip cap that I'm working on now, but as you can tell, I had a piece of lace here, Swiss lace here. This part is stretch, and then Swiss lace here, but you can see every stitch I put in there. The middle and the back was a 3-4 needle and a 2-3 needle, and the entire front is a 1-to-1 and a 1-to-2 needle. But that means wherever I part it, it literally looks like scalp. So yeah. But as you could tell, some of the knots are rather large because, well, I was in a rush, and when I was making it, I wasn't intending to make a wig I could braid. It was just basically a wig that I can wear. And I braided it as an afterthought. But that's also what I'm going to do with the other one. Let me show you this one. The one that I accidentally messed up and put the hair backward, the cap backwards, and then had to redo it. I decided that's going to be a braided wig. That way I don't have to erase all the work I did on it, because that's how much I got on that. I need to pin down some parts though, because yeah, it's lifting up. But basically I took the pins that was in this cap and put it on that wig. But when I'm done with this, I'm going to box braid the whole thing, and it will look like it's coming out of the scalp. And my hair is going to be completely braided down because, you know, rather tightly, because that's a medium and it's going to fit real tight. And this one is a large, which my head is, I mean, hello, same size. Yes, I know, I got a dome. Okay. And then when it's all said and done, because I have a whole bunch of that pink hair, looks like this. Some people might remember when I had braids look like this. This is the hair that was done with, and I figured I'll take the extra and make a wig. But because of the amount I bought, because I thought I was buying a pack, and turned out I was, well, 2 packs. It turned out 1 pack was 7 hanks of hair. I don't know how much they think you need to do box braids, but anyway, I ended up buying 2 of those. So basically, and I braided my whole head, and I still have, 8 packs of hair, and this is enough to do 2 wigs. So I figured that's what I'll do with it. Yeah. Now, if you decide to ventilate, make sure that when you're done for the day, you put your ventilation needle somewhere that your bed isn't. I mean, a lot of times I'll put the mannequin head right there and the hair right there on the bed next to me, but the ventilation needle is either going to go in that drawer where I had the latch hook, or it's going to go over there on my computer, because this is very sharp. If you use it wrong, you will cut a hole in your skin. If you accidentally leave this in bed with you because you were tired and, oh, I got it over there, I ain't gonna, you roll over on this, you will be in pain and it will cut you. So make sure that this is always where you're not. Okay? That's my helpful little hint of the day. Yep. Anyway, this has been People7 on Twitter and YouTube, People elsewhere on the internet. My soaps are located at PurpleButterfly-soaps.myshopify.com. Y'all stay blessed, stay tuned, and stay safe. Yeah. Bye now.